What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters: Ross Lingard, Benjamin Brown Keeley, Aqua, Max Mayer, Goku, Nog Saren, West Double Zero, Amy Labossiere, Lieutenant Weeb, Daniel Fitzwilliam, Pablo Vidal, Sean, Scott Wright, Zach Thorpe, and as always, I'd like to thank our executive producer, The Anime Hybrid. Thank you all very much for your support, and if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to click the link down below to find out more. We'll see you there.
Whoa! Where did you come from? Check it out. You're gonna die. You know what? I need to do something about this because I'm not having enough fun playing this game. Yo! Now that I've got you right where I want you, I'm challenging you to a Pokemon battle, sucker. Get out of here! Me and you.
There's one thing I'll say about Christopher Nolan's movies is that they pretty much, if you want to get the full experience of them, they have to be experienced in theaters. If anything, everyone says, oh, you need to watch them in IMAX. You need to watch them large format theaters and stuff like that. Given the quality of films that we usually get from Christopher Nolan, I mean the Dark Knight series, for instance, his Batman movies. Also, Inception was really good. Dunkirk was awesome. Interstellar. Just the visuals in some of these films are absolutely amazing, and a lot of them are as practical. Like a lot of the effects, I see some of the effects in friggin' Inception with the spinning hotel hallway. I'm just like, wow, that's amazing that they were able to do that and make it conventionally make it completely convincing that was actually happening. And now the new Christopher Nolan movie is on its way out, and it is being and it stars several people that you all might know. For instance, Robert Pattinson, aka Edward from the friggin' Twilight movies. I'm never gonna let him live that down ever. I know he's done other stuff, and I know he's the new Batman, but apparently he doesn't want to work out to play Batman. You know that?
I did not know that.
That's weird. I'm just like, usually I know Batman, no one can really make him out under the outfit and everything, but I don't know how they're going to proceed with him being Batman. For me, it's just weird seeing Edward from Twilight playing Batman.
I guess if he's a fully technology-based Batman and he uses taser gloves and shit, maybe.
Maybe, if he uses like a mech suit or something, like an assist suit, like he had in when he fought Superman in The Dark Knight Returns, because that'd be pretty cool.
It would make it easier, I would feel like, to maintain your alternate identity if you just were doing it that way, because being a philanthropist that's just fucking shredded,
Have you seen Jeff Bezos?
Gives you
oh yeah,
ammunition
Jeff
to be
Bezos is nuts.
That dude has the money and he's fucking shredded, but it's just that dude has the money, and it's yeah, but he's a little dude though. Do you really think he's taking down all these criminals?
He's small and frail.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos got pretty shredded all of a sudden.
Oh yeah. Well, I think
that's because he's Batman.
Is that why
he's not cool
his wife divorced him because he was out all night? She thought he was having affairs, but he's really Batmaning it up.
Yeah, he was trying to get in good shape. He wanted to come home and be like, honey, look what I did. I'm divorcing you, Jeff. I know you're seeing other people. No, I've been getting in really good shape just so you could be with other women. I want a divorce. And that's that.
I feel like he's does the Christian Bale voice. We're delivering smiles. Starts punching people. Sorry, that's my other job.
Oh, I can actually see Jeff Bezos doing that. His big bald head.
The Batmobile's in the shop, so he just rolls up in an Amazon truck.
Amazon just needs to go ahead and buy UPS.
Sign here.
Amazon just needs to go ahead and buy UPS because, honestly, UPS does all their deliveries. They have does their best deliveries, I should say. But,
The UPS also delivers for a lot of other stuff.
I know, but if
They're
they
the second best, in my opinion, over the U.S. Postal Service, which has actually been doing pretty damn good for me lately, surprisingly.
well, it's because of your vape utensils and everything that you've been receiving, and snail mail's actually been fairly dependable with that. And I'll say this:
UPS.
UPS is my favorite private
FedEx
one.
are the ones that fucking sent my shit.
FedEx sucks.
From Newegg, which is up in Canada, down to Illinois, which makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Over to California,
and then
back across the whole fucking country to here.
yeah.
Why the fuck did they send it to California? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Doesn't mail here have to go through Knoxville and then come back? So, like, if I want to mail something to, like, Kingsport, it has to go to Knoxville and then back to Kingsport?
I think it depends on the size of the parcel.
Wow.
Because I've had stuff delivered to Kingsport and Johnson City, and they've gone straight there.
Wow.
But big stuff, I've never shipped anything like massive. So
There just could not be any legitimate reason why something would need to go from Illinois to California.
Yeah,
I called
that
them and they were like,
No.
yeah, we fucked that up. And I'm like, yeah, you
yeah, I
think?
bet you're gonna give me free shipping now.
Yeah, they said they would, but I had to call back and get it once my package arrived, and I
Okay.
forgot to do so. So
Ah,
even though I paid for like 3-day shipping, I didn't get it in nearly close to 3 days. I got it more like 3 fucking weeks.
well, we got the new new trailer for Tenet here. This also stars John David Washington, aka Denzel Washington's son. So let's see what the hell is going on in this. I still don't know.
All I have for you is a word. Tenet. It'll open the right doors. Some of the wrong ones, too.
Oh, Elizabeth Debicki.
Use it carefully.
To do what I do, I need some idea of the threat we face.
As I understand it,
That's wicked.
we're trying to prevent World War III.
I'm not saying Armageddon here.
No. Something worse.
I gather you have an interest in a certain Russian
Hey, there he is.
Mike's bring me in.
You really want to know? He can communicate with the future.
Time travel.
No. Inversion.
Aim it and pull the trigger. You're not shooting the bullet, you're catching it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Well, I've seen too much.
Well, we'll try and keep up.
Okay.
Your duty transcends national interests. This is about survival.
Seems bold.
Bold, I'm fine with. I thought you were going to say nuts.
This is where our worlds collide.
How would you like to die?
Old.
You chose the wrong profession.
Well, that from here.
Hasn't happened yet.
There are people in the future who need us. Who need Tenet.
We need to save them here and now.
This reversing the flow of time. Doesn't us being here now mean it never happened? You want to crash a plane?
But not from the air. No one's so dramatic.
Well, how big a plane?
Shit.
That part is a little dramatic.
Okay. I imagine that this is actually what Christopher Nolan having a conversation with the studio. It's like, I want to crash a plane. Wait, what? Not from the air. You know, I kind of did that in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
So, how big of a plane? That's going to be a bit dramatic. I'm like, yeah, that's I guarantee you that's Christopher Nolan having a conversation with the producers. I still don't know 100% what's going on here.
Don't have a clue.
But from what it looks like certain people have the ability in this universe to not reverse time, but invert it for a limited time. They can invert time or interact with things that are going to happen. I don't know.
Prince
I
of
still
Persia.
don't fully understand it at all. It looks really interesting, though.
Yes.
It looks like it's going to be really brain-breaking, and you're going to have to think hard to actually understand what's going on.
Or it'll be like Memento, and it will require multiple viewings to get the full experience. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The first viewing experience I had for Memento was awesome because for me, how they presented the story the first time through is amazing.
I never saw it. So
well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the more you view it, the more you see of it, the more things you notice, the more things that you can actually put in line with how the true flow of the narrative is supposed to go. But yet how it's presented is just like, oh my God.
I'm cool with that in, like, movies, at least, because usually I have time at least to watch a movie a couple times. Like, video games where I have to start playing through, a bunch of times to catch stuff, though, and to see what's going on for sure. It's like, don't always have time for that. And, like, that, I was kind of, like, worried about that with Nier Automata, but just playing into just the very first part and just already hearing people say, yeah, like, the third part is where it really starts to open up. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to be putting a lot of time in this game because I want to know what happens.
Well, I mean, it's friggin' Square, dude. I mean, they make their games big.
Platinum.
Well,
too,
Platinum,
so,
it's Platinum and Square.
I don't know if
together.
Platinum had anything to do with the writing, but yeah, it's really cool so far. But anyways, that's something completely different. But,
No. I mean, in terms of like how narratives flow, I mean, we're trying to figure out and trying to discern how this narrative is going to flow. I mean, are we going to start at the end of this and it's going to rewind back and it's going to show us things throughout?
I feel like that would be too simple for what we're seeing.
I think so too.
The thing that interests me is it's just like, so we're trying to prevent Armageddon here, and it's like, no, something worse. It's like worse than Armageddon?
No, well, the thing worse than Armageddon is not.
I'm guessing like the unraveling of like all time and space,
yeah.
basically, essentially. I'm guessing there's going to be like time terrorists or something with like whatever they're doing. But
which Kenneth Branagh, I mean, if he's the one doing it, I mean, they obviously had to give him a Russian voice because hey, Russians, they want to take over the world.
They hate time.
That's the thing too. Is
of course it's never been their friend.
Anytime some like film studio and a group of people are putting out a movie and it's like it involves time, it's just like it better be unique. Because time travel has been, in my opinion, like thoroughly explored at this point.
It has been.
And I really liked, even though it's like there's a little bit of plot hole and stuff to it, I really liked the fact that the Infinity War was like, dude, all the shit you saw in movies, it's not really how it works, And
yes.
At least tried to do their own thing with it. And I think they're going to do the same thing with this. So I'm pretty interested to see what he has come up with for this, and how this is going to play out.
Well, basically, Warner Brothers right now is hurting because the only person who's making successful films that's making big money for them is Christopher Nolan. Yeah. So I guarantee you, when he told them, oh, this is all the stuff I want to do, reverse time, they're just like, whatever, just make another movie. Please, we need money. Because every project that they've tried to come out with, everything, like, they tried to do, the Tom Cruise Mummy movie. They tried to start their own like dark, Universal dark universe with the movie monsters and try and do what Marvel's done. But again, they kept messing up time and time and time again.
And that sucks because that's a good concept.
It is.
So
I'd love to see that, but they can't. But they've never been able to come up with a good launching point because every single film that they've tried to do has sucked. But hopefully here, what Christopher Nolan is doing is like rich, like single film narrative films is something he is really good at. Don't get me wrong, the Dark Knight trilogy itself is a good trilogy, but each individual film has its own good, concise beginning and end point that can stand alone as its own solo film. That's what makes those films so good. And every film he's done, Dunkirk, Inception, Interstellar, I mean, all of them have had strong narratives, strong visuals, and a good story at its core.
So I still need to watch all of those.
Oh, you haven't seen any of those? Oh, dude. We'll watch Inception one day because Inception is a mind bender. It is one of my favorite films by Chris Nolan, by far. And anyway, Micah, I mean, what do you make of all this?
I don't have a clue.
You don't have a clue either?
I mean, it kind of looks like Prince of Persia a little bit.
Kind of,
Just
yeah.
there's no dagger.
Well, yeah. Instead, I think it has something to do with the person.
Right.
Like, there's only certain people who have been exposed to this, to Tenet, whatever it is, and they're able to dilate time or flip time, invert it, but not completely reverse it to the point of where they can make massive changes.
I kind of want to know what the mechanics are, like the usefulness of like catching the bullet. So is it like they're going to use that in very situational scenarios where there's someone standing in between a previously fired bullet and them to pull the bullet back through them, or are they going to like use it to reload their guns and shit like that?
I think,
and if so, I want to know why this isn't a video game, because like that sounds like a bitching concept for a video game mechanic. It's like you reload your gun by just reversing your bullets into your gun.
I think one thing that can be done is someone who has the Tenet ability, if they shoot like an X amount of ways, then they can actually like line up where people are going to be, wait for them to line up for where certain bullets are, and then reverse it and catch the bullet, and the bullet will come through them. Through the person that's trying to kill them, and do that.
So that still seems like it would be very situational.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know the extent of the abilities in this. I mean, we're going to have to see when the film comes out.
But imagine
what is
a video game where you could shoot and your bullet stays where it was shot, and then if you aimed back at a place that you previously shot, you could pull your bullet back to your gun. Essentially,
yeah,
that'd be pretty absurd.
That'd be ridiculous.
You could do with it.
But
it's like, oh, I'm low on ammo. It's like, you would need like a perception factor. Like, all right, now highlight all the places I've shot recently, because nobody's gonna remember all those bullet holes they put everywhere.
Well, no, I mean,
then, like once you see them, it's like, all right, aim at them. It's like reload, and that guy's in the way, so reload, and he's dead, because it just went through his back, basically.
Yeah, it pretty much.
And then just keep fighting. Like, that'd be pretty fun, in my opinion, for a game mechanic, but.
I mean, hell.
So maybe this will be successful enough they actually make a good game based off of it, and there will be a good game based off a movie for the first time since like the Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, hell, if Chris Nolan gets involved with the game development, I guarantee you he will ask for like a top level studio to do it.
I would be stoked to hear he was developing a game, just like I was stoked to hear that Guillermo del Toro was helping out with Hideo. You know.
Yes, and I'd love to see that. I mean. I guarantee you, if you go to Microsoft and you tell them, hey, we're wanting to work out a deal with Warner Brothers Films where we produce a video game for Tenet as like a companion to this movie, and we want this development, say like Obsidian Studios or friggin' Ninja Theory, the same people who did Senua's Sacrifice, and they were able to figure out how to do the gameplay mechanics and stuff like that, and they put a huge amount of money towards it for production. I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Like, I mean, my go-to for pretty much anything, I'm like, if I want really good gameplay, which company would I ask? And it always just brings the same company into my mind, and that's Platinum. So.
Well, Platinum. There's one problem with Platinum. There's the language barrier, and then there's also, which don't get me wrong, there's people like Hideo who can get around it because he speaks pretty good English. But most Japanese game developers, you know, they don't like being told what to do from like outside influence unless it's like top down from like
Except
people in the
Platinum
company.
literally kind of just teamed up with Square and let Square kind of tell them what they wanted for Nier. But
I guarantee you it's because probably Platinum wanted to be in some ways associated with Square.
I still would like to know exactly how that process went, because I don't know for sure. If they literally just worked on the combat, like, I would believe that, but they may have had more to do with it as well. But
maybe.
I don't know. Like, basically, when I think of companies that 100% like on video games am stoked for every time they're doing a new game, it's FromSoft, Platinum, CD Projekt Red to an extent. I'm still cautiously optimistic because they never really made much other than Witcher games.
Yeah.
But
they're
Cyberpunk's still looking like it could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And other than them, it's just
not much else.
Pretty light. Capcom's kind of come back into the fold recently for me, but there's not a lot of others that I'm just like, they're making a game, probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Atlas maybe, like now, like.
Well, ever since
they've
Sega
been basically
bailed them out.
focusing on pretty much just Persona since they've been bailed back out, and I'm waiting to see what they do next after Persona 5 Royal, which is obviously amazing.
Yeah.
So,
well, all right. We've gone on too long on this. It's been about 20 minutes. Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This was Tenet, the new trailer. I am interested to see what's going to happen. I want to know about this movie. Whenever it comes out, I'm probably going to go watch it. And I don't know where the nearest like big format theater is, like Knoxville. I guess, I don't know.
I want to know when it's coming out, because if it's coming out before, I would say probably next year, then I'm probably going to be too paranoid to go to a theater with a bunch of other people and watch anything before then.
True. That might be a thing. But, all right. We got to move on, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you for tuning in. I'm Nate.
Micah.
I'm Nick.
And we'll see you in the next one, everybody. Peace out.